During the summer break of my sophomore year, my best friend and I returned to her beautiful hometown in the Xiangxi region. I was only going for the fun of it. But on the train, I saw a shocking news report. The scattered remains of a female body had been discovered in a certain city. A large portion of the body parts was still missing, and the police were appealing to the public for clues. I didn't pay much attention to the details, except for one thing: the victim had a tattoo of a snake with a bright red, forked tongue on her wrist, identical to the one on my own. A chill ran down my spine as I stared at the serpent tattoo on my wrist. I remember getting it only because I saw that Noah had one, and I wanted the exact same thing. Noah had told me the tattoo was a tradition in her hometown. When the daughters of her village came of age, they would get a tattoo of the serpent god's totem on their wrist, and the serpent god would protect them for life. I didn't believe in any of it, but Noah and I were the closest of friends. She had this mark on her body, so I wanted one too. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like any other young girl, wanting the same things as her best friend. Noah returned from the restroom and saw my distraught expression. "Yeah, what's wrong? Are you carsick?" she asked quickly. "Noah, I just saw some news. It's terrifying." I handed my phone to her, my eyes fixed on her face, searching for any change in her expression. "Yeah, honestly, showing me something like this to scare me. You know I'm the most timid person," Noah complained. It was true, Noah was incredibly timid. Noah handed the phone back to me, a hint of annoyance on her face, but nothing else. Nothing. When I saw the news, the first thing I noticed was the tattoo on the dead woman's wrist. How could she be so unfazed by it? "What's wrong? Is my face dirty?" Noah asked, seeing me staring at her blankly. "No." I quickly turned away and asked nothing more. For the first time, I couldn't read the friend standing in front of me. The train we took was an old, green, K-series train. After 2 days and 1 night, we finally reached the last stop. The moment I stepped off, the unique humidity of the south hit me. Before I could fully appreciate the scenery, Noah grabbed me and rushed to catch a long-distance bus. I never imagined her home was so remote. Halfway through the bus ride, I started to have second thoughts, the news reports still circling in my mind. But when we finally got off the bus, I was captivated by the sight before me. Surrounded by mountains, with a deep, emerald green pool and wisps of white mist rising from the stream, the distant village appeared and disappeared in the fog. "It's so beautiful," I exclaimed, forgetting the nausea from the long journey. "If you think this is beautiful, my village is even more so," Noah said. "Do we have to take another vehicle?" Noah gave me a mysterious smile and didn't answer. I watched as she took out her phone and spoke a torrent of her local dialect, which I couldn't understand. We hadn't walked far when a donkey cart approached us. I saw Noah wave at the man driving it. "Brother Shan, we're here." I was surprised they knew each other. The young man driving the cart was tall with broad shoulders, looking very strong. He was quite handsome too, with well-defined features, and thick eyebrows over large eyes. He wore a dark blue Miao hat and distinctive embroidered patterns on his trousers. When the man saw Noah, he quickly flicked the whip, urging the donkey cart toward us. I saw a faint blush creep up his tan cheeks as he looked at her. I knew instantly there was something between them. Suddenly, I felt like a third wheel. This man, Shan, seemed perfect in every way, except for a slight limp in his leg. "Noah, you've gotten prettier," Shan said in his clumsy Mandarin, making me want to laugh, but I held it in. Brother Shan, your leg? Noah's face showed concern. It's nothing. I took a fall a while back, probably pulled a tendon. It's not a big deal, Shan replied. Noah nodded. The atmosphere between them was so charged with affection. I cleared my throat pointedly to remind them of my presence. Noah immediately understood. This is my best friend, yeah. Hello, I said generously, extending my hand. One moment, Shan was acting normal, just a little shy. The next, his eyes fell on the tattoo on my wrist, and he froze. I followed his gaze and realized he was staring at my tattoo. I awkwardly withdrew my hand and said, I saw Noah had a tattoo like this, and since she's my best friend, I wanted us to have the same thing. So I got one too. Does it look good? Shan said nothing, but his expression turned grim. He just came over to take our luggage and load it onto the donkey cart. I felt the atmosphere instantly turn cold. I stole a glance at Noah. Her face had darkened as well. Had my thoughtless action caused a problem? Noah looked up at me and gave me a warm, friendly smile. Don't mind him. Brother Shan is always like this with people he doesn't know. Once you get to know him, he's very chatty, Noah said. I nodded, but I felt that his reaction wasn't about me, but about the tattoo on my wrist. I never knew donkey carts were still used for transportation, but for this rugged mountain path, only a horse or donkey cart could manage. Shan was an excellent driver, skillfully navigating the cart over the bumpy, uneven road. Noah told me that vehicles often overturned into the deep ravines here. Sometimes, a cart full of goods would tumble down, driver and all, resulting in huge losses. We finally passed that long, difficult mountain road. As we came down from it, I saw a small village nestled in the embrace of the mountains. It was just as Noah had said, the village was breathtakingly beautiful, even more so than in my dreams. As soon as we arrived, I saw the handsome men and beautiful women of the village. It was a perfect illustration of the saying, beautiful mountains, beautiful waters, and even more beautiful people. But then I noticed something strange. The beautiful young women here had no serpent god tattoos on their wrists. Only Noah had one, which contradicted what she had told me. Everyone in the village was related in some way. As soon as they heard that the college student, Noah, had returned and brought an outsider with her, the whole village turned out to see us. Saying the whole village was a slight exaggeration, it was about a dozen people, mostly children, women, and the elderly. The able-bodied young men had all gone to work in the cities, leaving them behind. I instantly became the monkey in a zoo, surrounded and stared at by everyone. Luckily, on the way here, Noah had suggested I buy some candy. I handed out all the candy I had to the children. They happily ran off with their treats. Noah's mother shooed the other adults away, finally rescuing me. Her mother pulled me toward their home. She was a simple, kind-looking old woman, probably in her 70s. On the way, a little girl suddenly ran up to me. Sister, are you going to be the cave god's bride? Huh? I responded, confused. Little sister, why would you say that? The little girl wore a large silver lock around her neck, the silver ring almost bigger than her head. She looked adorable. Because you're like Sister Noah, you both. Before she could finish, Noah interrupted her. Igu, have you finished your homework? Hearing this, the girl stuck out her tongue and quickly ran away. I looked at Noah, confused, and asked, what did that little girl mean? She probably saw you giving out candy and thought it was wedding candy, Noah replied. Her answer made me smile awkwardly. Noah took me to her home, which was a very old, traditional stilt house. The furnishings were simple, a bed, a table, and a few bamboo chairs. Noah's family was incredibly welcoming, pulling me in happily. My dear girl, you're here now. Just treat this place as your own home, Noah's mother said. Seeing my arrival, Noah's father and mother bustled about, killing a chicken and preparing a lamb to cook for me. Noah, are you all this welcoming? I feel a little bad, I said. What's there to feel bad about? You're my best friend, so of course my parents love you too, Noah replied. The family sat together for dinner. Noah's mother kept putting food in my bowl. They seemed to treat me even better than they treated Noah. Yeah, you have to eat more. Look how thin you are. Don't be shy, this is your home. Just think of us as your parents. Hearing this, I felt a mix of gratitude and strangeness. What did she mean, think of them as my parents? My own parents were alive and well. Perhaps it was just a local custom, but I found such intense warmth a bit hard to accept. I ate until I was stuffed. I wanted to help them clear the table after the meal, but they firmly refused. Her father cut a large watermelon for me and told me to go cool off in the yard. Only Noah was busy inside the house. I couldn't refuse their kindness. Ah, a sudden scream came from inside the house. It was Noah. I rushed inside, and her parents ran in right after me. I saw Noah slumped on the floor next to an overturned wok, hot oil splattered on the ground. She held up her right hand, which was already red and swollen. Oh! Noah, you burned yourself? I quickly pulled her to rinse her hand under cool water. Seeing her once fair skin now a swollen red patch, I could only imagine the pain. Her mother took her to apply some medicine. I lifted my own right hand. The conspicuous tattoo was still there, but Noah's was now destroyed. The next day, just as the sky was beginning to lighten, I was woken by the sound of crying. I could clearly hear that it was Noah crying. What could have made her so heartbroken? Sigh, get up. This is the will of heaven. You can't be blamed for it all, an old voice spoke, filled with a sense of weary resignation. But the long, drawn-out but made my heart hang in suspense. I was eavesdropping by the wall when my foot accidentally knocked over a ceramic jar at its base. The noise alerted the people in the room. Who's there? Seeing that I could no longer hide, I straightened my clothes and slowly walked out. This time, I got a clear view of the situation in the room. Seated in an old-fashioned armchair was a spirited man in his 80s with a full white beard. He was dressed from head to toe in traditional Miao attire. Noah's parents stood respectfully by his side, while Noah herself knelt on the floor, weeping. When the old man saw me, his expression faltered for a moment. His gaze moved down from my face until it stopped at the tattoo on my wrist. I clearly saw his eyes change from icy coldness to delight. I instinctively hid my hand behind my back, not knowing why I didn't want him to see it. You, come here, he said to me with a smile. I hesitated, but Noah's mother pulled me in front of the old man. He unceremoniously grabbed my hand. When the old man saw the tattoo on my wrist clearly, the light in his eyes grew even brighter. Though he tried to suppress it, he couldn't hide his excitement. How do you have the serpent god's totem? It was this tattoo again. I didn't know what it truly represented to make so many people fixate on it. I simply told him the story of how I got it. This is fate, truly fate. I felt that everyone present understood the meaning of his words, except for me. Good. The day after tomorrow. The day after tomorrow is an auspicious day. I'll go arrange it now. Right now. The old man muttered to himself as he walked out, leaving me standing there stunned. Noah's mother helped her up from the floor and then took me with her to have breakfast. My mind was heavy with worries, and I was absent-minded in everything I did. After breakfast, Noah's father asked her to take me for a walk around the area. "Noah, who was that old man who came to your house this morning?" "He's our village's clan leader," she replied. "Why did he come? And why were you crying?" "It was nothing. He just came to tell me that a beloved aunt of mine in the clan passed away." "I was very sad," Noah said. "She actually told me this." I looked into her eyes, but Noah's gaze darted away. She had never been a good liar. Why was she lying this time? What secret was Noah hiding? We wandered outside for the entire day, only returning home in the evening. I saw the yard was already filled with red chests of various sizes, just like an ancient dowry, all decorated with large red silk ribbons. "Wow, Noah, are you getting married?" I looked at her half-jokingly, thinking of the simple and reliable Shan. The thought made me happy for them. But when I turned to look at Noah, her expression was anything but happy. She looked at me, seeming to want to say something but stopping herself, her hands wringing anxiously. When her parents saw us return, they just warmly took my hand, asking where we had been, and led me to the dinner table while making small talk. Tonight was another lavish feast. "Auntie, is Noah getting married?" I persisted, asking them again. Well, girls have to get married when they grow up," she said vaguely. "Is it with that young man, Shan?" She replied. Noah suddenly stuffed a chicken leg into my mouth. "The food is delicious today, yeah. Eat up. Didn't you say you were hungry? Are you not hungry anymore?" After dinner, I sat in the yard to cool off as usual. The things in the yard had been moved away, as if they had never been there. Noah's mother came and chatted with me for a bit before going inside to get busy. I closed my eyes, listening peacefully to the chirping of summer insects, which calmed my entire being. Just then, there was a sudden sound in the yard. Someone had thrown a small stone. I quickly opened my eyes and saw a small paper ball in the yard. I was certain it wasn't there before. I quickly stood up, walked over, and picked it up. When I unfolded it, my face turned pale. "Get out of here, or you will die." Those few short words on the note left me stunned. I stood rooted to the spot, completely dumbfounded. What did this mean? "Yeah, come have some fruit." It was Noah, carrying a fruit platter. I quickly crumpled the note and hid it. I acted as if nothing had happened, walking over naturally to eat fruit with her. The note weighed heavily on my mind. I genuinely felt the urge to leave this place. That night, I had a very long dream. I dreamt of dead bodies, blood, and the tattoo on my wrist. "Noah, I think I want to go home tomorrow," I said to her in the morning. "Why are you leaving so soon?" she asked. "I got a call from home yesterday. My younger brother broke his leg playing soccer. I'm a bit worried and want to go home and see him," I lied. I couldn't think of any other excuse. "That's serious? Then you really should go home and check on him." "Okay, I'll have Brother Shan buy you a ticket," Noah said. As we were talking, her parents came out and asked what we were chatting about. Noah told them I was leaving, and they also expressed regret that my stay was so short. I'll come again next time, if you don't mind me being a bother. Of course not, we'd be thrilled to have you, they replied. After lunch, I felt unusually drowsy. I went into my room, lay down on the bed, and quickly fell asleep. In my sleep, I felt someone moving me, but strangely, I couldn't wake up. They seemed to be taking my clothes off, then putting new ones on, and applying makeup to my face. I had no idea what these people were doing. It wasn't until the sound of drums and music filled my ears that I felt a slight return of my senses. I slowly opened my eyes and saw my reflection. I was dressed in a red wedding gown, the vibrant red color like blood on my body. 4 or 5 young women surrounded me, they were the ones who had just dressed me. Among them, I saw Noah. And Noah, what are you all doing? I stammered, my speech still slurred. Yeah, don't be afraid. We have a celebration, and you just happen to be here for it. We're having you play the part of the new bride, to experience a traditional wedding, Noah said. As she spoke, she couldn't bring herself to look at me. I kept seeing her evasive eyes. My mind couldn't focus, it kept drifting. The noisy drumming and music echoed incessantly in my ears. Then why am I tied up? I asked quickly, not liking the feeling of being bound. This time, they ignored me. They placed a red bridal veil over my head, and my world turned into a sea of crimson. Someone took my arm and led me forward. I left the room and was put into a bridal sedan chair. I felt my body become weightless, bobbing up and down with the movement of the chair. My mind was a chaotic mess. I thought of the note, and a terrible premonition washed over me. I had no idea where they were taking me. The drumming and music still swirled around me, the sound of an ancient wedding procession. At that moment, the sedan chair finally came to a stop. The noisy music ceased. I bit my tongue, and a sharp pain shot through me, instantly clearing my muddled head. I was no longer in a daze. But my hands were still tied, I couldn't break free. Someone pulled me out of the sedan chair. My hands hurt. Can you loosen the ropes a little? I put on a pitiful expression, hoping for some sympathy. The person didn't loosen the ropes, but instead pressed something into my hand. It felt like a razor blade. I remained still, peering out from under the veil. Through the red fabric, I saw a blurry figure. But I recognized it clearly. It was Noah. They led me to a room. Before I could understand what was happening, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I had been cut by a sharp knife. Ah! I cried out, but someone clamped a hand over my mouth, silencing me. I didn't hesitate. I bit down hard. Ah! You bitch, what are you doing? It was a man's voice, sounding fierce. Then he struck me hard, knocking the veil from my head. I saw the man holding the knife. He was grinning menacingly at me. Meanwhile, my hands, tied behind my back, were frantically sawing at the rope. What are you trying to do? You'll find out soon enough, the man sneered. As he lunged at me like a wild beast, I quickly dodged. At the same time, the rope on my hands finally broke. I immediately turned and pushed the door open to run. After I ran out, I happened to see the Shan passing by. Without a second thought, I ran to him for protection. Please, save me. I believed he was the one who wrote the note. He had to be able to save me. Shan grabbed me in a hug. When the men who were chasing me saw him, their tense expressions relaxed. Give her to me, the man said, holding out his hand. The clan leader knows what you're doing. He sent me to supervise you. Shan's voice was cold, completely different from when I first met him. My heart sank. Were they working together? Was my judgment wrong? The man just chuckled with a look of disdain. Shan then pushed me away, back into the man's arms. I had fallen into their trap once more. The man placed the veil back over my head. No one cared about the wound on my arm, which was still bleeding, the pain keeping me acutely aware. They gagged me, and the man pressed a dagger against my waist. The ground under my feet was difficult to walk on. The few of us climbed a mountain. The path was rugged and hard to navigate. To prevent any trouble, Shan gripped my arm tightly. All I could hear was the sound of our panting and the chaotic footsteps behind us. Watched by the entire village, I was taken to the side of a cave. Today is the day the cave god takes his bride, a voice announced. He weds the most beautiful woman in our village. We bless the cave god and offer him the best, most pure maiden. Then, the strange, dissonant music began to play. It was in that moment I finally understood. I had become my best friend's substitute, her scapegoat. This fate should have been hers. With their cheers, I was pushed into the dark cave. I walked, as they commanded, into the deepest, most terrifying part of the cavern. The further I went, the colder and damper it became. A smell of blood hit me. I began to regret it and wanted to turn and flee, but as I turned, I was met by the savage eyes of Shan and the other man, and the glinting knives in their hands. This is a crime. I screamed at them, with what little courage I had left. Haha. The man burst out laughing, the sound echoing endlessly in the cave, as if he had just heard the world's greatest joke. Hey buddy, she's pretty funny, isn't she? The man patted Shan's shoulder, but Shan sidestepped his hand, a move that clearly annoyed the man. Get to it, Shan said simply. The man then kicked me hard. My body flew like a clump of cotton, soaring through the air before landing heavily. Before I lost consciousness, I clearly heard the clanking of iron chains. I don't know how long I was unconscious. When I woke up, I heard footsteps in the cave, growing closer. I saw a figure walking towards me. The will to live surged within me again. I struggled to my feet, feeling as if my entire skeleton had fallen apart. But when I saw who it was, I was stunned. The person approaching was Shan, along with another man I didn't recognize. What are you going to do? Shan didn't speak. He opened the gate, and I saw he was holding a knife. My body went limp like a piece of cotton, completely powerless. Shan walked over and easily lifted me up as if I were a chick, my feet dangling off the ground. Shan, do it. Today it's the kidneys, the other man said coldly from behind us. Shan threw me, and I collapsed onto the ground, feeling like my internal organs were about to come out. He immediately pounced, his body pressing down on mine. My mind went blank. It seemed my time was up. There was no point in struggling anymore. I thought I had no chance, but then Shan's hand, the one holding the knife, reached toward me. He gave the knife to me. He swiped his own arm against the sharp blade. What's wrong? The other man asked. You bitch. You dare to fight back and steal my knife? Shan roared. Because it was so dark, the other man couldn't see clearly what had happened. At that moment, I was thrown forward with great force, the knife still in my hand. Its tip plunged into the other man's body. The man rolled on the ground in agony. Shan rushed forward, picked up a rock, and smashed it against the man's head several times, until he stopped moving completely. I was paralyzed with fear, watching this scene unfold. "Run! What are you waiting for?" Shan and I ran down the mountain, sticking to deserted paths. "What in the world are you people doing?" I asked when we stopped to catch our breath behind a large rock. "It's them. I was just forced into it," Shan confessed. "What do they do?" "They sell human organs." Hearing this, I turned pale with fright. I immediately thought of the news report online, the dismembered body. The dismembered body, the murder case, that poor girl, did they kill her too? Shan's silence was his answer. From the look in his eyes, I knew it was true. "Over here. I heard a noise from here just now. Someone had found us." My heart leaped in terror. Was I really going to die here? These men had brought a dog with them. The dog easily found where Shan and I were hiding. The leader was the village elder. He dropped his kind facade. He stepped forward and slapped me twice across the face. Blood trickled from the corner of my mouth. "Running?" Murderous intent rose in his eyes. I had never faced such ruthless people before and was completely overwhelmed by his presence. "Cut her hand and foot tendons. Make her a cripple for the rest of her life." I was even more terrified at his words. I had never experienced such a situation. Two men held me down as I fought desperately. Another man approached with a sharp knife, ready to sever my tendons. Just at that critical moment, the sound of police sirens came from outside. "Granduncle, the police are here. What's there to panic about?" Before he could finish his sentence, the place was surrounded. I felt like I was seeing my family as the police led me away. After telling them everything, I finally felt a sense of relief. When I saw Shan again at the police station, he was in shackles. During my debriefing with the officers, I made sure to detail how Shan had saved me. I never expected the police to arrest him too. Shan was a good person. But the police told me that Shan was one of them. The dismembered body case, that was also him. I was shocked. "Shan, did you really kill someone? Did you really dismember a body?" "They just told me to dispose of the body, but..." He didn't finish, but I understood the unspoken meaning. The dismemberment case had attracted huge media attention and had a significant impact. I walked out of the police station in a daze. In the village, there were many people like Shan who were forced into crime. To protect their families, they had no choice but to walk this path of no return. My friend Noah was waiting outside the station when I came out. She didn't dare approach me, didn't dare look at me. I knew none of this was entirely her fault, but I still couldn't forgive her. "Yeah, I'm sorry." Every year, a family in the village has to offer a daughter to marry the cave god, to be a fallen flower cave maiden. This year, it was my family's turn. I didn't dare. "Right. You didn't dare, so you let me take your place?" Noah broke down, sobbing. I paid her no mind and walked straight ahead.